Why, good morning, you beautiful souls. I hope you're having an excellent Sunday thus far and a good holiday weekend here in the States. Now, this is a very special satsang considering the theme of our meditation, this healing through reflection. It's one of the most powerful tools we have, our own introspection, our own looking within. For when we learn the lessons of the past, they cease to repeat in the present. So go ahead and get those last few wiggles out. And as we get ready and prepare ourselves, I lovingly invite you into the space of the heart. Begin to affix your heart, your own beingness, to one or multiple aspects in which you seek to heal. You hear the first 3 taps of the bell. As the bowl rings, take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, transform it into a powerful Om, solely shifting your attention to the sound of your own voice, the vibrations of your own body, and the stillness of your own being. When the breath, when the sounds cease. Allowing everything to drop away in this moment, simply marinating in the now. Sinking deeper and deeper into a state of relaxation, we simply let go. And with this final tap of the bell, shift your full attention and focus towards the sound of the ringing until it ceases to be. And as it drops into that silence, shift your own awareness to that calm and quiet within yourself. Our life can be boiled down to a multiplicity of patterns. But what happens when they cease to be in your life? Your free will comes under your full conscious control. In order to experience the new and end the patterns of the past, we must cease the cycles that cause them to exist. Each pain, each conditioning, our reaction to varying experiences serve as a pebble being tossed into a still pond, rippling throughout our lives. And just as the wakes grow larger and larger, yet more distant, the further away they get from the center, the origin, so too our own patterns of life act with more severity with each coming around. The signs and patterns of life are very straightforward. When we cease to learn from an experience, this divine play will give us an opportunity to escape the trap of it further down the line. Although, with the divine comedy and irony that life will present, it will come back around with more severity, consequences ever increasing. But this is where we transcend the ideology that life is doing things to you and enter into the beingness that life is simply presenting an opportunity for you. One to transcend, one to heal, one to put yourself in a position to transform pain into power, to transmute suffering into strength. Look within your own heart. What patterns have been repeating for you? What games of self-sabotage have been had? What people that cause you strife have come and go? Life isn't a cruel mistress trying to punish anyone. For each experience of these cyclic repetitions offers us a lesson to learn. And when we recognize the origin, when we identify these causal forces, we liberate ourselves. The energy of the universe simply responds, and we no longer deal with the issue again. For the lesson was learned, the healing was made. And that is the beauty of life. Ultimately, these lessons we must seek to heal, these opportunities to reflect, point us deeper and deeper inwards towards our truth. Unfolding layer after layer of falsehood, ultimately always trying to show us who and what we've always been. And this is the divine play. You're not alone in this journey, but come to recognize that very few will take the courageous step inward to look at their own beingness, to heal their own wounds of the heart. Imagine yourself sitting at a beautiful still pond. And as you stand up to go look at this miraculous, crystal clear water, your reflection is but your younger self, the child of the past. In truth, our conditionings, many of these sufferings in which we experience in the present, originate from this self. It's this understanding that we compartmentalize, that we protect ourselves as children from handling and dealing with these adulthood issues, the lack of love, affection, the manipulation, the pain. In the West, they call it a dissociation, compartmentalization. But for the heart of the human spirit, we must protect ourselves as children, for we simply don't comprehend the backwards and twisted ways of adulthood. For it's nonsensical to our pureness. But because we let go of something subconsciously doesn't mean it won't manifest in the future. For again, it's those pebbles tossed into the still pond that reverberate throughout our lives. As you look upon yourself in this beautiful pond and you see your childhood self, begin this process of healing through identifying what you lacked in your youth, what wasn't provided in terms of love, what acts arose that caused betrayal, that lost trust. Come to see that everything in our life ultimately comes down to our own beingness. We mustn't blame others. We can only look within at ourselves. For each of us is on this journey of healing in these many wounds of the heart. And only the courageous few actively seek to look within to heal them. So allow yourself with this next breath to take in the loving forces of this divine ether around you. And with your exhalation, let go of any tensions, any judgments, any pains caused by others. For when we liberate ourselves from their own actions, their pain has no power over you. Everything in this world is a conscious choice. So choose to let go. Choose to love yourself fully. Look within and discover these origins. As you take another breath in, consciously imagine filling yourself up with light. And as you become charged with these loving energies of the universe, give yourself a hug at this still pond. And as you embrace with your childhood self, heal these wounds of the past through your own love and understanding in the present. Give yourself that reassurance. Proclaim you are loved. You are strength. You are wisdom. And you are free. For the most important component behind this healing through our own reflection of the past is that we control our own inner space. And if you do not seek freedom and liberation from these past cycles, they will ever repeat in the present and future beyond. Utilize your power of free will as the God and Goddess you are. Announce your liberation from these feelings, from these expressions, from these cycles and patterns, and begin to shape your future how you see fit in this realm of the heart. Take a nice deep breath here. Each inhalation, this sense of love and weightlessness grows. With each exhale, releasing any and all remaining tensions within the form. Long, slow, deep breaths. And as you continue to draw in this prana, Know that it's providing you the energy to elevate, to transcend beyond the clouds of monotony, and to sever every thread of attachment you have for the past. And in your heart, simply let go of everything that's caused you pain. Go beyond the emotional feelings of the past and transcend into the intuitive knowing of the lessons that caused it. For when we become trapped and stagnant in the emotions, we fail to recognize ultimately what they served to tell us. For our heart, our radar, is but an emotional knowing of what doesn't resonate with our spirit. But when we become trapped in this emotional identification, we lose the many lessons that they're intended to teach us. No matter the expression, sadness, anger, it matters not. They tell us what resonates with our spirit and what does not. Those most painful moments are the ones we so often avoid and cling tightly to our emotions, but embrace them. Accept what already happened so you can let go of it. Come to recognize the paradoxical aspect of these painful moments in our lives that cause us the most manifested action in the present and future. With anything else, as children, even we learn and instantly let go of a hot pan. But when we hold on to the pain of the past, the traumas, the wounds, it's as if we're holding on to a hot cast iron skillet and refusing to let go. Accept fully what happened. Embrace the truth of what was. And in this next breath, give yourself the love, the encouragement, the dedication to your own peace, and transform it through your exhale to let go of the pain, to learn the lesson of why it arose, to forgive who wronged you, for you are simply drinking a poison of resentment that only impacts you and your heart. Life is always presenting us opportunities to awaken to this deeper truth about ourselves. That you are not the sensations of the body. You are not the emotions observed within you. And you're not the activity and chatter of the mind, but the observer of them all, the knower of experience. These lesser natures cannot impact you. They cannot be known without you being present. This sense of self, this sense of I am, our consciousness itself transcends beyond form. And it's in this healing, through a simple looking, a reflection, so to speak, that we begin to separate ourselves from the happenings of temporary nature and enter into the ground of our eternal peace, the intuitive knowing that simply is. Take a nice deep breath in, filling yourself up with that loving light, radiating that energy of pureness. And simply release the breath and observe the stillness and calm that radiates from you. For in this state, nothing matters. We allow the body, the heart, our spirit to heal, to let go of the past through this learning of the many lessons it provides us. When you hear the next tap of the bell, again, take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhale, transform it into a powerful Om. And allow the vibrations of your own being to dissolve and break away any remaining tensions within you. And know here that life will present you the many opportunities to fully transcend these past conditionings and cycles of pain, trauma. It matters not what you identify or call them. Just know that this statement of divine cord, nature, and being is your proclamation to life that you are ready to let go and fully awaken to your truth within. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. And thank you so much for tapping in this morning. Don't forget to hit the like. The floor is open for any questions that you may have, and we'll talk about them. I did have one here, more so from the IG, Instagram, and a little message. So let me pull that up real quick. Okay, so the question here this morning is this is kind of like a reoccurring one, I feel, almost to a degree. How do you handle learning something you've been avoiding to see? So that's kind of like, I can't give context because I want to protect that person's identity. Um, but in this sense, we must come to understand when we've been avoiding the signs that life presents us, we're kind of setting ourselves up for that bigger heartbreak, that bigger letdown, because we're ignoring what is. And in this sense, it was someone's recognition of someone and how it didn't resonate with them anymore. And that's a process of life that happens naturally. But again, we can't ignore the signs that life is presenting us. You know, if someone is acting in a certain way, if someone is expressing themselves in a certain way and we just won't see it, you're missing the signs, you're missing the patterns. Ultimately, and I don't want this to sound cold-blooded because it's not, it's just the reality of what is. We cannot see someone through our hopes and wishes for them. We have to see them for what they are. We have to see life for what it is. It's a trap if we choose to, I don't want to call it like wishful thinking. It's just really based, it's just assumption. You know, assuming that someone is really doing more than what they are. assuming that someone is acting in a certain way. If you don't know, you don't know. So I hope that answers your question, but I guess the most important thing afterwards is when you do recognize the true nature of someone, it's in your best interest to not allow yourself to forget. It's in your best interest to talk to them about it. It's in your best interest to, and depending on the situation, move on, you know. Um, I will say this, the truth of the reality that, most people don't care about conscious development, that most people don't care about, anything other than the instant gratification of the many lesser experience like phones, games, all that other nonsense, the many distractions that are in this world. It can be sad, so I fully sympathize with you in your situation. I understand that. But are you doing yourself a disservice by staying in that situation? It's kind of my question to you if you're listening, and I hope you are. You asked me the question. But ultimately, if the truth didn't hurt, if the truth didn't come with these many lessons, then everyone would be on this path of ascension. Everyone would be on this path of healing and unfoldment. It'd be easy, you know. That's why I always try to remind anyone when this topic and these topics come up that it takes a very courageous spirit to look within, to consciously look at the truths of your own being. It hurts. I know that firsthand. It's not tight. Like, it's very upsetting when your assumptions of the past shatter your perspective in the present. And I'll be releasing a video on, Dark Night of the Soul soon. So be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Um, but that's what tends to happen, in the spiritual process as you enter into this dark night of the soul. Your paradigm is just completely upended. The carpet or the rug, so to speak, is pulled from underneath your feet. And that's when we have the most jarring experiences of breakthrough. So it's a give and take, But the most important thing is ultimately love yourself. Love yourself fully, that you want the best for yourself. Don't see truth, although it can hurt, although it can be painful. Don't see truth or any of these things as something to avoid. Know that this is a loving journey of healing so you can fully tap into your potential and power as a human being. There's so much potential within each of us. And when we consciously and actively look to transcend the past, to heal from it, to learn from it, you enter into this path less traveled, and you truly take the reins in your own experience, because life doesn't have to present those patterns of the past over and over and over and over again. You get new ones. And that's why I say, it transforms into this learning through love, because it's just an adventure. It's a play at this point. It doesn't mean that painful things won't happen. That's not how life goes. But when they do arise, you have the objective clarity to really look at the lesson first rather than getting caught up in the pain, as kind of talked about in the meditation. So it's kind of a lot. So there's no more questions. Feel free to drop those in the comments. We can address them in the next satsang. But with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed. And in that seed, may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Tap in Sunday. And I'm excited. June got a lot of new content coming for you. Spiritual insights, little mini videos, some full spectrum meals. Ooh, they're going to be tasty. So tap in. Again, I love you so much. Have a great day. Have a great holiday tomorrow in the States. And just remember, you're the keeper of your peace. You hold the keys to your kingdom within. And when you fully seek to liberate yourself, the path is always pointing you inwards, deeper towards yourself. Take care. I love you so much. Peace.